And should now all be good. Today we are continuing, if it's all working, we are continuing with the campaign. Okay, you good? You are here. Yes, you are. You feel you should be in charge more. You feel they should see you in your full majesty. Okay, well, in your full majesty, there you are. Oh, caramba. Has anyone ever told you that you might be a little bit obsessed with, you know, being center of attention? Hello. 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 Oh. They're being smothered by a poodle. Yeah. Do that. They zoom out. Oh, good lord. Hello, yes, you're gorgeous. You are gorgeous and slightly inside. Yeah, I know. UAD. If I just expand this. Oh. So that. And let's do find windows. And I want to check the obspot settings. And we'll just zoom it out. Hello. You just like being. You are just the center of attention, aren't you? There we go. Enjoy Poodle Cam and whatever Poodle's getting up to with an entire bed. He's probably up to something, knowing him. Hello, Duke of Buckingham. Hello, everyone. Not a new campaign, but it's going to sound strange. This is the campaign I started when I'm trying to relearn the system they've built, they've changed it to, because they've made so many changes. So, this is the one where I've been exploring things like, oh my lord, they've really mucked up the original vessels, in sort of the original period vessels and what they're getting up to. Ah, it's fun. And basically I'm really learning to design a logarithms. I don't know why. Can you hear the desktop audio? Because it should be around so you can hear. Should be, he says. We've got mic. We've got desktop audio. And audio output capture. Oh, good. So that is all working. Someday I'm going to be able to figure out why the mic system is quite so weird. Ah, that's better. That's better. That allows me to see everyone. Okay. Yes, I like that. Sorry, the mic system was winding me up at that point. OBS is fun sometimes. We, of course, have Poodle Cam, as we always do. And I will say that Poodle Cam, the joy of Poodle Cam, is that if he does something which is particularly well behaved, you can recommend he gets a biscuit by putting PT in the chat. If he does something particularly naughty, you will probably also reward him by putting PT in the chat. There is literally no way to tell him off. No way to tell him off. Should probably be. But there isn't. And I am scrolling my own volume down so I can hear if anything else goes on around me. Right then. That's okay. Let's see the submarine ones. Fight that. Chances to some Do I have any more ships coming? I have no more ships coming. Naval invasion, that's going okay. Conquest. I have quite a large fleet coming down there. Okay. And military conflict. I've got to get unrest under order. I've got to get unrest under better control, because at 29 that's too high. I've got to start shooting down the unrest. So whatever I do now, the decisions have got to be made. Have got to be motivated by keeping unrest under control. Well, I wish you could get UAD. It is good. It is a lot of fun. And I have to say, of games I've had, it's probably the one which has interested me the most, because I get to do the strategic level and the tactical level. You know, that's rather a nice thing for me. We have quelled resistance. Right then. Who am I? Am I at war with anyone? I think I am at war with Germany. And that's not far. Oh, yeah. You. All of you go up to Tsingtao. You, go to there. We'll send those off. Politics. How can I reduce unrest? Finances. Oh, build. Upgrade the building, definitely. Build that. That's going to cost me money. What are you up to, Poodle? You're up to something. You're now looking incredibly innocent, but I know you were up to something. There is a reason I have Poodle Cam, and it's not just because you're lots of people like to see you. It's because, in the nicest way, it means I can watch you out the corner of my eye no matter what you're doing behind me. So what are you up to? You look innocent now, but I know you. You got water. Is there water missing in a water bowl? Do you want to go get it? Let me just check someone's water bowl, because he's doing the thing he does when he's not got water. Oh! Yes, you haven't got water. Okay, give me a second. Go grab your water bowl. Here you go. There you go. Water bowl has been delivered. Where should we put the water bowl? Let's put it down here, shall we? Hopefully far enough away from all the electrics. Ay, caramba. Poodles, they will never ask. Oh, you've seen a PT. Okay, you've seen one PT. It's more than one PT for you. But you're a good boy. Up you go. Right then. What research are we doing? Okay, get off the cruiser design. I think I'm going to go for internals protection. And then that means I get all those in 1 month time. That'll do well. Where's my other one? I've got boilers. That means that next 3 months could be kind of interesting for me. But yeah, research, politics. How's my mum doing? Well, thanks for asking that, Paul. She has an absolutely wonderful shiner, which in her her statement is not as good as the one she had when she played lacrosse. She seems to be feeling better. We had some friends over yesterday who coming over before, planned to be coming over for a while, and she said she didn't want them cancelled, so they came over, and she seemed to have a nice time. She seems to be okay. She's out wandering around a bit today. So yeah, hopefully seems okay. But for those who don't know, my mum fell down the steps on Friday. It's always helpful when mothers do that. Okay, we'll do this back on me for a second, while Poodle decides to be bashful and hide beneath my chair. I'm not focusing the camera down beneath my chair. Honestly, that would just be focused on my crotch, and that would be a whole different camera. So, hello Duke Pension, hello Ferris, hello Runon, hello Jonathan Moon, hello CD Cameron, and hello Paul. How is everyone else doing? Sadelets is almost recorded in that I've decided, of course, this is the trouble with me. Having more time before something goes live just means I listen to it more and go, I would like to correct that bit. An OnlyFans teaser. Oh, good lord, don't go there. So we are sending... Fleet's gone up to there. Move you to the Port of Sudan, I think. Let's go be annoying to Germans in the Port of Sudan. Moving a couple more submarines over there. Move the Temeraire around. I've got no surface ships left in the UK. None at all. Don't need internals protection to be in control such anymore. What do I need from all that? What do I fancy from all that? Do I have engines? Do I have decent engines yet? I have geared steam turbines, so I'm okay. Boilers, do I have... What are boilers next I want to go for? I've got oil-fired boilers. Do I want any special machinery? Is there anything out here that I'd like? Cruiser design, hull strengthening. Let's do that. Let's see what comes up. Because this is the battleship run, isn't it? The last one was the battle cruiser run. This is the battleship run. We are, folks. Would you do a campaign that the viewers would build your ships for you? This is going to sound terrible. But actually, I might, but I would want to I would want to put some rules in place. Nothing too tough on the rule front, but basically things like. Because I remember, I'm British, so I remember the whole Boaty McBoaty-face scenario. And, very strongly. And I think... Ooh, Eastern Germany is now British. No wonder they declared peace with us. Oh, that's interesting. We now have the Kiel Canal. Um, the fact that to get to the Kiel Canal you're having to go through Kiel worries me. I'd like to move all of you to Helgoland. I'll do that next time. But yeah, so I would want some rules in place for the ships, like in nicest way. I wouldn't want a battleship which is entirely armed with 4-inch guns or something like that turning up. But possibly we do that as a fun thing to do. I think it's one of the things I'd like to park for a little while, not because I don't want to do it, but because I want to work out the rules, and because I'd also think I'd be happier if we've been through. Well, for those who don't know, one of the reasons why I'm travelling around so much at the moment is I'm looking at houses because we've decided we need to move from where we've lived for at home. Because the idea is, instead of me moving out, or instead of me, you know, my sister moving out, etc., what we're doing is we're getting a property which has defined annexes and spaces for us all to live in. So we live together but separate, if that makes sense. So we all have our own kitchens. My mum and sister, I think, will still live together, but I will have my own kitchen, my own sort of front door, etc., and space. So it will be that's sort of the scenario we're looking at, and the plan is to try and be moved as soon as possible. Preferably February, March time. Moved by February, March next year. Oh, good. No, not at the moment. I'd like to get the ships built. But it's a case of it's finding the right property. There is a good one I'm currently looking at, but I'm going to see that again on Tuesday. No, Wednesday this week. It would be nice. It would be nice. But it's sort of a case of once we made that move and we're all settled down and everything's settled, then I'd be happier because I'd be in a space and I'd be able to take on these things and set up plans and put things together. And one of the things I keep doing is I keep moving books backwards and forwards. If I open up my obspot. And do that, you can see next to me I've got a whole pile of books, and they keep going backwards and forwards. As I drive backwards and forwards, they change around depending on what I've got happening at the moment and all sorts of things. So it's a fun time. Hello. See? Hello. Poodle currently doing poodle things. Definitely doing poodle things. Have found some iron brew. Haven't we, Fluff? Yes, we have. Alright. There you go. There I am. Hello. Have far too much fun controlling that. Um, hopefully they're going to be ones better than all the ones on Thursday. Okay, I think I gave you a demonstration on Thursday of one which had, and Poodle Cam is back, one which had seriously inventive ideas about bedrooms. The next one I'm going to look at shouldn't have those problems. Shouldn't. A random campaign where the viewers take the role of different designer shipyards and compete for wartime contracts. That's, you know, basically that sounds like a good idea. If they're competing for contracts and I basically take the design I like the best, I go, right, we need a destroyer. Design me a destroyer and let's see what it looks like. Also, any thoughts on the Starship Super Heavy launch? It's interesting me. It really is. I think it's potentially a very interesting thing if it is all pulled off and all works. I now control the Kiel Canal, I've just realised. I think the Super Heavy... Well, here's the thing. As a rule, private companies do not do exploration. There just isn't the money in it. That's what you do sort of use government money for. Government money goes and does the tippy-toppy the reach of the things. It's the investing in something which is going to pay off long term. And then private companies follow up. Usually, first of all, small companies seeking to make a huge amount of money. And then bigger companies join in as time goes on. And usually they buy the smaller companies, to be honest. Okay, right, so we've got some ships in Gibraltar, that's good. I need to send fleets down to move submarines. Move submarines. As you can see, what I'm doing is I'm taking 2 from every... well, roughly 4 from every base. That it can afford to lose some. So their maximum range is the red. In that they can operate in, so that gives me quite a good scope for movement. But honestly, Let's corner some. Let's make sure we have a major fleet force form out together. Move ships. That should be enough of a fleet formed up. Oh yes, that's worked out. And I wonder if the Americans will let me come through, because I want to use you. You're going to have to go all the way round South America. That's not fair. I don't want you going all the way around South America. I want to keep you in this area of the world. So I think I'm going to have to instead tell you to move to there. So basically the plan is to break the Spanish economy, then break Spain. And I think we'll manage to do that, because frankly what we're sending is everything I can put together. Both Booster and Starship blew up, but it didn't make the space. Yeah, and that's the thing. That's the earlier point of what happens is then companies get involved, and in this case, believe it or not, SpaceX is a smaller company getting involved at this point. And they're going to develop the technologies. Eventually others are going to take advantage of that. And space is a useful place for us to be getting to. It gives us more, quite literally using this word again, space for development. This is not necessarily good for them, because 6, 7. Let's auto resolve that battle just to see what happens. Right then. Let's go to politics and let's consider where do we want to invade of Spain. Choose province. Northern Spain? No. Though it could be fun. We'll go for Northern Spain. We'll take out Northern Spain. Because we might as well. Because, frankly, it sounds fun. But no, you have solely, as the level of risk goes down, larger and larger corporations, larger and larger businesses get involved, and therefore you push it on a bit more. And the thing is, with space exploration, the current point we're at is the point at which we're turning it from exquisite, in terms of expense, into merely expensive. Okay? Space travel is not going to become routine for several generations, but in terms of cost, changing it from exquisite to expensive is going to make a big difference in the utility of space and its viability for various things. Anyway, does anyone know why the name for subs, E to N? I think that's because of the traditional numberings that began instead of the World War One era. Is their asthma settled down now you've been in Cornwall? Yes, their asthma's a lot better now they've been in Cornwall. In fact, my mum said to the friends who were visiting us yesterday that if she had her way, we wouldn't go back because she feels so much better down here. Space for development. You mean free real estate? Yeah, not so much. This is not a good... Oh, good lord. Let's fight this battle. Okay, it's not allowing me to do anything more than auto-resolve, but that sheer fleet, not a single one of those transports should have survived. Oh, okay. Right. So... Ba-da-da-da. Yeah-da-da-da. And some from Scarflow. Yeah, that should be interesting for them to deal with. A full naval invasion going on up there. Chance to succeed, 0%. I doubt it will stay at 0% for long. Let's move these in as well. And let's see, can I launch an invasion down here of Cuba? Politics. Let's see if we can't take Cuba. Not yet. Why are their battleships and all their other ships keeping well away from me? It's just unfair. I've got a perfectly respectable fleet up here of... Let's see. 3 Agincourt class battleships, 3 heavy cruisers of various types, a Raleigh class, an Essex class, another Raleigh class, and a few destroyers. That's just a perfectly nice fleet to greet them. And they're refusing to come out and play. That's just unfair. We're invading Nicaragua, which is always good to be invading. Always good to be invading Nicaragua. And yeah. I haven't conquered Russia yet in this game. This is unusual for me. Usually I've conquered Russia by about now. Am I torturing Germany at all at this point? Yes, I am, but I shouldn't be torturing Germany. I should be going for the Philippines, and I will do. That's 22 destroyers. Oh yeah, I'm sending all you up there. That's just happening. Why do I have a force of 22 destroyers wandering around? If anyone can remember why I have a force of 22 destroyers wandering around, please send messages to me. What was I doing to justify having 22 destroyers doing random things? Now, do I want them to go through and... No, I want them to go down. Let's see if we can't go cause Spain some trouble elsewhere. Where is the Spanish fleet heading? The Spanish fleet is heading across to support their forces over here. Oh, well. I know exactly where I'm sending this force. Let's go to the Philippines. The new port raid mechanic is dope. It is fun to do when it allows you to do it. Hi, Gas 114. I know, one thing that makes me a lol about this game is that by about 1930 you stop struggling to make tonnage for invasions when 2 battleships weigh more than the entire 1900 fleet. Yes, yes they do. Definitely advantageous when you can outrange and how to hit them, but they do sometimes develop quite well. Mainly because the AI, though, does prepondera things, giving I want to put as many different gun types on this ship as possible, rather than I want to put the very best versions of these guns and focus in for fire control reasons, because it doesn't yet sort of factor that in. But it's getting there. It's getting there. It's better than it was. You know, you have to remember where it started. Where it started, it was honestly sometimes interesting. Which is British code for, oh my lord, what's this done this time? Good, the Centre Party has won the elections. Cute. Oh, fight that battle. The fact it's only allowing me to auto-resolve it annoys me. I want to go and sink those transports. No, not a moment, no. That should be getting somewhere close to where it needs to be. Let's see if we can do another naval invasion of Spain. Where should we pick? Cuba! Only 40... Well, yes, invade Cuba. Invade Cuba, because I have like hundreds of thousands of tons of battleships over here. And yeah, I'm just going to start expanding that formation. So yes, we're going to invade Cuba. That's going to cost the Spanish Cuba. And then we're going to go for Puerto Rico. Because we can. We're taking Nicaragua, and hopefully by the time we finish, the Spanish will not be in the Caribbean. And as you all know, I like kicking people out of the Caribbean because I like control of the Caribbean. It gives me interesting benefits, I find, in this game. What's a special machine? Electrohydraulic steering gear. That's actually quite useful, so yes, I'm going to accelerate that. I've got some new battleships which are coming into service soon, and those are going to need to be repaired and made good. I agree, they do have an obsession with 8 to 11 inch guns. Whereas I have an obsession with 16.5 inch guns. The fact that improving relations with the Spanish seems oxymoronic. The nicest way, there is no way any merchant vessels could have got away from that many destroyers. Fail get control of Madagascar. They were trying to invade Madagascar? Wow, I didn't even realize they were doing so pitifully. Let's see, that's chance to succeed 89%. Chance to succeed 65%. Well, we'll soon have to change that, won't we? We'll have to put every single ship we can get into this, because, frankly, there is no way we should be looking at anything less than 100% chance to succeed. I want Cuba, and I am prepared to send every ship I have in the Caribbean to Cuba to get Cuba. The requirement is 49,000 tonnage, 49,310 tons. I have 125,000 tons. I will grow that. I will grow that tonnage. I will send in the Duke of Edinburgh. I will send in a batch of 4 destroyers. I will send everything. And I repeat, everything I have the ability to get hold of for this mission. Because, why the frigate not? Let's go to Liverpool, and let's move some submarines down to Cadiz. Let's move light cruiser and destroyers to where they need to be. Move the light cruiser and destroyers to where they need to be. Let's send every bit of tonnage that I can get hold of to where I want it to be to win. And the next time I can launch another invasion, I will be, because if I can do I can be doing 3 invasions. The thing I want to be getting to is the Philippines as well. Control station, definitely improve that. Right. Oh, I do hate it when it hides my chat. It's annoying. It's annoying. There you go. Hey, Palma, Paul, you've been a member of the channel. Oh, you've gifted 3 members of the channel. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Paul. But Gosman, I was watching a famous YouTuber and he said, I don't know why so many conflicts are about canals, ships, and ports. Communications. 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 No, but I am going to have to do a better new light cruiser, aren't I? Let's go to fleet. How long till my battleships are built and then I can work on a light cruiser design? 11 months. Oh, 11 months. They're not that far away. I only knows history. A late 1930s frigate captain for raiding Spanish treasure dreadnoughts. Anyone seen Vian? Actually, you might want to look at Sherbrooke. Honestly, Sherbrooke was always a bit more of a pirate than even Vian was. Honestly, the tribals were good. But we're in 1910, so, you know, there's twit going around. Certainly the Harwich Force senior officers would be excellent at the role and well up for the task. I do love the way they call invasions here special military operations. Chance to succeed 91%. Chance to succeed 100%. Cuba is gonna be mine. That's good. Naval prestige is getting pretty usefully high. And all is based on friction because water is the lowest friction natural surface on the planet. Yeah. Also, it's to an extent based on buoyancy because, again, it's carrying a load. A heavy load often and a bulky load without damaging things. You think you'll go out the roads you have to build and the quality roads you have to build to maintain and move heavy goods around. You know, the bridges, etc. Quality of bridges you have to build to move heavy goods. It makes a difference. Oh, I'm fairly sure that's an intentional joke because the model is Ukrainian. They're making a complete laughingstock of... there are many, many, many methodologies they're pursuing, but pretty much the most common one is they are making their opponents look like fools, because the one area, the sort of the most problematic area for the Russians is always their national identity and image. The thing that Russia hates most is to be made a joke of and to be laughed at. Most countries don't like it, but some countries absolutely loathe it, and it is almost to an extent a national political Achilles heel. And Russia is one of those countries where being made a fool of, being laughed at, is something which is a big factor. It's part of psychological warfare, and you carry it out in many, many ways. And an easy one is computer game, and not even probably intentionally, but unintentionally, it feeds into the narrative of people laughing at, well, hang on, what's the invasions in this game called? They're called special military operations. Ha ha ha. They're an invasion. But no. At least I have Iron Brew today. And a sleeping poodle. Always a sleeping poodle. Something I had a whole load of messages on Facebook to add things to my profile. I don't know. How far did I have to go to get a brew? Well, you see, the thing is, my very nice friend drove down all the way from Somerset to see me. That's, you know, it was Sam and her husband, my director of my Christmas things, and she brought with her 4 bottles of Iron Brew. Very kind of her. Oh, we have Dreadnought 7s available. What shall we improve now? All that. Definitely that. We're making our submarines good as well. I have to admit, this is turning into a submarine and battleship game. I wasn't really expecting it to. I was expecting it to turn into a destroyer and battleship game, but it seems to be more and more submarines and battleships. Okay. I now have war with the Soviet Union. No, not yet. Do I have... I have a navy... I did thought I had a navy around here. Okay, yes. And I have a navy at Vladivostok. Already. So, let's go to politics. Let's check what province that's the Russian Far East. Politics. Soviet Union, I can't do an invasion yet. But I'm going to be doing something to wreck their economy. Because that's the sort of thing I get up to. I wreck people's economies. It's how I win these wars. And we're just going to keep moving ships up until we've blocked off all their ports. And right then, is there a Russian fleet? That's a Russian heavy cruiser coming through. And I haven't got anything in Singapore. That's annoying. That is annoying. Normally I have something sitting in Singapore waiting for them. Nubian Star should be a good start. Michael Advantage should add to that. Let's move some submarines up there. We have a whole load of submarines sitting around here. We have a battleship down here. Okay, Hannibal. Hannibal, my lovely cannibal. You're moving up. You're moving up in the world. I'm not sure how you ended up down in Hobart. I'm not sure why I put a battleship down in Hobart, but you did. I think I've just blocked this off. I've got more Russian ships coming. Cute. I've got some heavy cruisers sitting there. That should help me hold that area. I don't think the Russians are going to be getting out that way. Russians are probably going to be coming down this way, and I should really have something at Kiel Canal to block them. Oh, they want to come through Kiel Canal. They're not getting through Kiel Canal. I control Kiel Canal. Let's move some more submarines into a blocking position. Let's try and make sure that the Russians stay where we want them. Inside the Baltic Sea. Oh, so the later it gets, the destroyers become more stable seas, so better become platforms at very high speed. Yeah, they do. The later it gets, the longer it goes on, the more light cruisers and destroyers merge. You've acquired a tissue box. I'm glad to hear that, Ronald Dale fan. Yeah. Most modern tissues do not seem to be actually designed for anyone who's actually remotely strong. We've trained control of Cuba and northern Spain. That's useful. So let's go to politics, and let's do naval invasion of the Soviet Union. Russian Far East. I did consider Kamchatka for just a couple of seconds. So we now have control of northern Spain. Always nice to have. Shall we go for western Spain or southern Spain next? I feel if we get western Spain, that then gives us pretty much de facto control of most of the rest of it. And it sort of allows us to control everything else. Purely to nab Tsingtao. I know, nabbing Tsingtao is fun in the game. But at the moment, I am on deciding to conquer this, because I feel using a navy to conquer the entirety of the Soviet Union is always supremely fun. There's now enough submarines in that area that, frankly, they should be very, very scared if they try and make it through. Battleships should be ready soon. They're going to reinforce the whole of the navies around the world. Mark III 13-inch guns. Thank you. Armor forging. What's he working on? Oh, yeah. I want that. I want that. So, and this is going to sound a random question, but it is important because I'm currently working on it. How do you prefer your toilets? Do you like them high or low in toilet seats if you're in the UK? Because one of the things I've been going around houses, I always really thought toilets at home were pretty much the same height. But I swear, and if I put the thing, if you consider the bed, some are up here, And they go all the way down here, where you're pretty much sitting over your knees and your chin. You know, what do we prefer? You know, does anyone have any idea why this is the case? I know it's a random question to be asked, but it's been bugging me for a week and I'm not sure who to ask. So I'm asking Twitch. I can afford a lot of money at the moment. Very suggestions of the bolts for Runon. We head around with that in the US. Higher is easier for elderly people to get up on, off and all. That's my thinking. I think higher will probably be the sensible route to go, but I have a feeling I'm going to end up installing loos wherever we end up procuring. Because I keep seeing... And some houses, they have different toilets. The toilets are actually different levels across the house. Poodle has moved. Oh, this discussion, he didn't want to be in the centre of it. But no, in some, you know, in some of them, they literally have toilets at different heights. And I thought if you were in the same house, you would have the toilets all pretty much at the same height. I'd have thought. It would have made sense to me for that to be the case. There's always a possibility that I'm being absolutely insane thinking this, but you know. But it seems to me sensible that we do, you know, you standardise. Lower seats are meant to improve bowel movement and are on the higher side. I can see that. But I'm also thinking about the level of arthritis that's currently going through my family. I'm thinking the higher seats are going to be the way to go. But, yeah, maybe they replace them at different times. But again... One house they were sort of going, house has been recently renovated to a very high standard by a developer. And sitting there going, why are the loos different heights then? If you've renovated and obviously put in new bathrooms, because they were obviously new, because everything was designed to match itself, why are they all different heights? Oh, that's just not good. I'm going to fight that one. I'm going to do that battle myself. Have you ever played Warhammer 40k Dawn of War? Not recently. I've got to continue the 40k get through play we have. The trouble is, it's getting all the recording done and all the house hunting at the moment. Combining those two things together means I do not have a lot of daytime. I'm going to put you on to avoid, definitely. But I'm going to put you on to scout. And you are going to maximum speed. And it's hunting time. Let's go see if we can find them. Ah, Hannibal. My shippy cannibal. Go find your enemy. this rough weather, that's going to be interesting. But I think I have faith in you. Even though some of the waves are so big, they're topping you. And I honestly don't think you can fire all your guns in this weather. In our own house, we couldn't find a high enough one, so we built an 8-inch tall wooden pedestal and raised the toilet up. I can understand why you do that one, honestly. It's advanced. Oh, good lord, this is a brave ship. Low fuel, low power. This is Battle of Tsushima all over again, but this is just even worse. Because this thing is designed to take you out. Yeah, so, you know, multiple recordings, etc. doesn't help. Although I am being slightly better about editing recordings together when I have a section I'm happy with and a section I'm not happy with. I am getting slightly better about it, but it does introduce continuity errors because you can tell, because I do sort of change my shirts on the daily. I do like to have a clean shirt, and therefore, yeah, it does mean that sometimes in videos I look like I am just a clothes horse because I change clothes so many times. I think I'm going to have to work on that and maybe sort of design an overshirt or something that I can put over. But I like the various cartoon shirts I have, so I like showing them off, and I know they make some people giggle, so you know. Right, let's go down here. I think I'll move you all up there. And you up there. And you up there. Because, well, having the more tonnage up there helps me. Helps me more than pretty much anything else I can do, will do. Because I want to have as maximum tonnage as possible up here. Right then, now you're all free. Let's go and destroy the economy of Russia. After all, that is always the consistent plan. Go destroy the economy of Russia using various large ships. Yeah, a hoodie or similar from YouTube resort, that would be probably sensible. That would be the sensible thing, especially as it's colder now. So I could probably justify wearing a hoodie without getting too sweaty. Can't imagine being criminals while doing your deck gun. Yeah, I don't think that'd be a good place to be. Ronan, if you're going on a command replacement, might I recommend the Toto Drag? I'm not sure. I'm considering, at least for one or two of the loos in the place we sort of eventually get, going Japanese and having things which automatically clean you, so without the need for paper. Just remembering certain joys Britain had during the COVID panic. I'm not making anyone invade Afghanistan, but it appears the army is invading southern Spain for me. The point is, we're setting up a property which is going to deal with the three of our needs for possibly the next 20 so years. It's why one of the reasons why I'm looking at a place which is, well, my space, ones I'm looking at, actually is 3 bedrooms. The annex is a 3-bedroom space. So let's be honest, I could theoretically end up starting a family and still live there. Not a bad thing as an option, but not all people might be keen on the idea. Agree. How's the naval invasion going? That one's going okay. That one's chances to succeed now 72%. That's getting better. I like the look of that one. Now 72% looks a lot better. Yes, we're finally going to have Northern Gibraltar after the British Army invades southern Spain. Potentially. Had an interesting and slightly one-sided conversation last night over Mexico with Kabir. Oh, yeah. That one comes up more often than I like to think about. It's always the case of it's the potential which is more of a risk than the actual. And the fact is the British were in a very low risk tolerance mood at that point. Oh, I don't know if I've seen invading South Sanklin. Where is South Sanklin? There's South Sakhalin. No, I don't fancy invading that. Not a moment. What about Spain? Nicaragua, Northern Marianas, Guam, Puerto Rico. All tempting. Let's see, how are they all doing? They're doing interestingly. Who runs the rest of Borneo? Because I know who runs the northern part of Borneo. Me. Who runs the rest of Borneo? Apparently, we also control Mongolia. If anyone wants to explain how we ended up controlling Mongolia, I would like suggestions. But I have a feeling it involved going up through northern India and Pakistan, through Kashmir, into Yang, and across to Mongolia, and we for some reason haven't taken Tibet. I have no idea why. I'm not raised a particularly respectful, it's a respectful British army at this point. They'll take anywhere. Miles at numbers convinced that the RN setup would join us or die as the only option. No, that was one of like a dozen options. Or rather, two of a dozen options. Yes, there are some problems with that scenario, Paul. I do realise that. I get it when people are not worth the argument. I always try because of the inclination of me to try and help people. Although I did have an interesting conversation the other day with a colleague who used the phrase, "We've got to educate them the right way," and I went, that sounds to me like something I heard the other day about love them the right way. And that's not the point, especially not of university education, to educate them the right way. The point is to educate them is to give them the critical thinking skills they need to go and educate themselves. And it's one of the joys of lecturing is that the amount of people who think that in lecturing your purpose is to sit there and deliver arguments and evidence by rote that people then write down and regurgitate in exams, and that's absolutely the wrong thing for a university lecturer to do. And the vast majority do not do that. The vast majority do not do that. The vast majority, a lecture is a one-sided discussion. And a seminar is a bilateral discussion. And that's what it should be presented as. Basically, I'm buying time till I have my next generation of battleships in service because I need to grow my battle fleet. Oh, this is not going to be good for them, is it? This was not the fleet you should have picked to fight. I think the problem is that if you found a mirror match, they'd both be so mercenary such as they'd never see each other. You can say that again. So let's pause for a second. Okay, these two follow the battle line. You. I want you to set your sailing orders to be screen the battle line. Okay. We have Cobboff and Ramillies out in front, both armed with a surfeit of 12-inch guns. This should be interesting. Avoid is the most pointless button in this game, and all these avoids, I take very little notice of them. I'm not sure what my cruiser screen are doing, but I think they're charging in to engage at closer range, which is probably not the good thing that the enemy are thinking it is. Because the battleships can lob from long range. There are a lot of battleships. And these carry 11-inch guns. So the entire force can make this a very, very interesting scenario for them very quickly. Oh, please come into 6-inch gun range. That's just like rat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a-tat-a, you're going to be deluged under a whole range of fire profiles. And 3-inch gun range and everything else. This is just not good for you. That's a surprise. It's sinking. Luckily, I've been building fairly decent ships and upgrading fairly decent ships for quite a while in this game now, so pretty much all my ships are fairly solid. The literal 14-inch machine gun. Basically, my plan is take out this enemy fleet and we're all okay. We can then go and block the largest harbour Russia has. So, Clark, what would you say are the Constitution class names that are on Ebby, akin to the original 6 USN frigates? Basically, any name which has been used for a first rate is fairly high up there, but I would say Warspite is also included in that figure. I'd say Dreadnought is. I would say you usually find Queen Elizabeth turning up every couple of generations. There's certain names which turn up quite regularly in Royal Navy history. Ronan, imagine if Vickers managed to make literal 14-inch machine guns. The Royal Navy would be very, very happy. Jim, would you say a modified Terrestre class LHD would be a good replacement for Ocean? That's pretty much what I've been arguing for the last, however many years. I've been arguing for that for a long time. Because honestly, that would solve a lot of problems for Britain if you did a modified Trieste with a ski jump, and you replace not just Ocean but also Albion and Bulwark with it. You would have 3 ships which could all supplement or, in a pinch, carry out the strike air defense role with a far more limited air group than it would be possible to carry aboard a Queen Elizabeth class. But it could also provide the heavy docks. So if you have 3 of those and you have 6 of the other vessels they're building, that are basically logistics ship replacements slash everything else Argus replacements, you would have a fairly good mixture to do the duties. In fact, honestly, you could justify 3 and 9, and then you could have, well, you could basically Littoral Group South and Littoral Group North will be comprised of a modified Trieste and 3 of those vessels. So each could be the same size, each could be built around the same size force, and you'd have the equivalent of a third force able to fill in the roles of carrier replacement, if necessary, if both carriers are unavailable, so we'll never have a scenario where we don't have a carrier, or alternatively, force expansion should you need it, should you want to grow a force to something like equivalent to a brigade strength. I'm sending the destroyers off scouting. I don't fancy ending the battle yet. I fancy sinking all their battleships. They have far too many ships left for me to be happy. I do not like the way the ships just slam into each other. It's very unhistorical. You didn't slam into your colleagues when you're maneuvering around. You avoided it. Basically, that was the thing Tyrion died training officers out of, you know. The idea that they slavishly wait for commands to avoid slamming into each other. No, you don't. You have the requirement to command to use your brain. You're a captain in the Royal Navy. You do not get to slam your ship in because your admiral orders you to go from A to B. You avoid it. I'm just going to send everything into attack now. No idea what you've done now. I'm not sure what you've done now, Palmas, but you've got 100 something or other flashing. Cheer 100. I have no idea what that is, but it looks cool. It looks cool. Yeah, Paul, you're anything. You're worse than me with the Twitch, and that I have to honestly, actually, we keep saying we're going to do this. Me and Gareth Gareth the Brit, have to spend a long time sat down, chatting away, and working all this stuff out, and learning from him. Bits, they're bits. They give you cash. Oh, cool. Honestly, I didn't really realize you get cash from Twitch until recently. I thought only people who were really very, very high up the Twitch train got cash. Basically, my whole thing with Twitch is I keep it going and I enjoy engaging people with it, but it's basically a backup for if anything happens to the YouTube channel. I've still got the Twitch channel, so I can still do my presentations and still give people a chance to see the history. As you're all going off, I ordered you to go and attack independently, and instead you're doing something over there, so I'm basically giving you orders to follow me now. Because I don't trust you all to go and do what you're supposed to be doing. So these are their sort of sovereign equivalent francophone designs, and this is not good for them. Because their top speed is 18 knots, whereas my cruising speed is 18 knots, and I could, if I wanted, up that to 19 knots and probably not have much of a problem in terms of accuracy, and slowly wind them in. Especially not at the engagement ranges we're doing. I improve Hunston. Ah, that's nice, thank you. Gives you cash, that's good. I said, bits to bits, they give you cash. You could modify the TSD cloud to flight deck wide, unlike how the QECs do it. You could do all sorts of things with it, honestly. King George V versus Punjabi. Yeah, that's not a good scenario. HMS Australia. Well, HMS Australia was a fun one to do a 60-second video on. The next one that's coming up, which is a 60-second video, is HMS Victoria. And basically, the plan is to have 8 shorts a week for the next 8 weeks. 6 comp response videos a week for the next 8 weeks. And 2 lives and 5 recorded videos a week for the next 8 weeks. Wish me luck. The idea is that sort of over, well, 7 times 8 is 56, plus 2 days is 58. So it'll be 174 videos over the next 8 weeks. Plus Twitch streams. Plus there'll be, I will aim to do at least 2 Twitch streams a week, when I can. So it's going to be it's going to be fun if I achieve it. The other aim is to try and get to somehow to get to 15,000 subscribers by Christmas Day, although I have no chance, I think, of getting that. So that my mum and aunt's bets finally come to the end over my number of YouTube subscribers. So that those bets finally finish, and I no longer have to deal with the bets between the two of them. Oh. That poor torpedo boat is now in 6-inch gun range, isn't it? Yalta's gone. I'm sorry, Yalta. You could have been cute. You could have been interesting. But we'll never know. Because, frankly, what you're gonna get is a whole load of 6-inch shells. They're all low fuel. That's annoying. That is annoying. But let's see if we can't take them out. Ah, the Slava. Oh, this does feel sad because the Slava was actually historically a very good ship for the Russians. Slavas tended to be very good fighters for them. Oh, that was sad. And the Poltava. Oh, and the Tompkin. And the Chesma. They're all in trouble. The Tompkin is on fire. Oh, that's not good. Oh, that's really not good. It's losing ammo. It's lost all its ammo for its smaller guns. Oh, this is not good for it. I'm sorry, Tompkin, but you're gone. And that's the end of the Russian Navy. Can you Copenhagen in this game and steal the Russian fleet? The question is, would I want to steal the Russian fleet? That's the actual problem with Copenhagening, because then you find yourself in possession of that fleet. And you need to scrap it. There is a reason why in this game I always prefer to accept cash or country or states if I can get them off a country. At the end of the war, I don't like their ships. Because, again, they're the AI-produced ships, and B, they're terrible. Your aunt was a little unkind. Well, and honestly, when the last set the thing, the criteria was 10,000, and I hadn't made 10,000 by December last year. So the fact that I'm within a couple hundred of 11,000 by this end of this year is wondering to me. What of theirs is away is actually afloat. Nothing. The bits is weighted towards the dreamer. It is, and honestly, there is part of me which... It's going to sound strange. I don't mind them doing that, because I think these companies, without them, I don't get to do this. So they need to have some money, some form of income. I would always like to have more, but I'm... Let's put it this way. They are far more open about their income than than universities are. Because the amount of times I have done research work assisting for a university, and I know what they're charging me out at as an assistant to go and do that research, and I know that it doesn't get reflected in my pay at all, one jot. I will accept the Twitch and YouTube systems where they take some of the money, but it's not much. When you've been used to one level of exploitation, you are far less worried about others. I'm not so worried about smokescreen generation. Internal protection, though. Let's see if the battleships are built soon. Be really useful to have those extra 18 battleships come online. You can refit them. I can refit the Russian ships, I just prefer to build my own ships on my foreign stations, because whilst I can refit them, I don't see... they really don't help me that much. And the fleet, they're 2 months away. Oh, that's good. The moment they're in service, I am refitting them. That's the really scary thing. The moment they come into service, I will refit them to the latest and the greatest standards. It makes sense, you know. The moment you get the new ships, refit them. Because the time they spent building, they're going to be out of the tech. That's actually also one of the reasons why warships is a habit. They come into... they go through trials, and then they go and get refitted. And they're getting refit. Part of the refits is fixing what they found in the trials, but also it's making sure they've got the best tech they can for the rest of their operations. Just using paint to modify a ship bucket image to show... This is where spring sharp and things like that are useful, but there are various options you can do. Jonathan, wait, you can now refit ships? Like, yes, you can refit ships. You can change them. But it's a annoying system, I think. I'm not sure if you... Hang on, what's that in this version? There was a version of UAD I was sent by a friend who's slightly closer with them than I am. where I was doing that. I'm not sure if that's in this version. But I think that is, it's either coming or it's something I was testing out. So I'm sorry about, probably shouldn't have said that, ever. If it's being sent out to someone like me, then who is not signed anything and who is not a UAD tester, I'm fairly certain it's coming at some point. Alright. They want peace. I will take the money. Let's see what the submarines do, and then we'll move to whatever's remaining to Danzig. Still makes me laugh hearing the horror stories of the these ships come back into the USA and UK, and I wonder what happened to the Italian ships. There's all sorts of fun things with Lend-Lease. All sorts of fun things happen with Lend-Lease. Oh yeah, I want that. Oh, hang on, do I want Guam? Northern Mariners. Or do I want Western Philippines? Oh, I would like the West Philippines. Caroline Islands and Guantanamo sound pretty good. Let's go to the refits and see what we can do to upgrade the Renown. Okay. Ooh, we have another 4,000 tons sawdust to play with. Oil. Coming up into 28 knot ships. We can. That's a tool funnel 6. What these? These are 13.5s. They're at the maximum I can upgrade them to. They're all... Ooh. Dunite, better. Cordite, better. Heavy, yep. Cat ballistic, yeah, that'll do. Cat ballistic, that'll do. Anti-flood, yes. Krupp, 2. Electro-hydraulic steering, definitely. Any improvement I can do on anything else? No, that's all good. That takes up to 135%. Ooh, which go just induced. And yeah, what can we do with the rest? Well, I think I know what I can do with the rest. Let's first of all go with main deck. Upping that a bit is always helpful. Up that to 9. Up the main belt to 18, shall we? 17 is the highest we can go. Okay. Well, the first inner deck we want up to about 2. We'll take 3 inches. And we'll take that to about... Well, actually, we'll put that at 2 inches because that fits more likely. 2 and 4. And, yeah, half weight offset is heavy. But let's just up the 4 belt. And the 4 deck. And that gives us that. And anything else? We've got 500 tons left. I don't think we can get any more, but yeah, that'll do. Unless, main guns, can we go for triple turrets? No, we can only go for twins. Well, I think myself that looks fairly decent to me in the world of scenarios. That's a refit time of 7 months. And I will take that because that's going to give me a very long-range ship. It's going to give me a very, very long-range ship. Standard bulkheads. In terms of survivability, this thing is going to absolutely rock. What's the secondaries? I've got 18 times 3-inch guns. Is there any space for any more 3-inch guns I can put in? That should do just about to, you know, balance it out as much as I can. Half weight offset 0.4%, that shouldn't be too bad. Yeah. What happens if I put that into massive, spacious crew accommodations? No, stand will do. So design, let's refit these. Starfort concept for the game with Foxhole. That's a specific skill set. Let's be honest, that's a cool game. I really should look and see how the patron vote is going, shouldn't I? I should be keeping an eye on the patron vote. Renan, you're just getting nice away. I am hunting for a house at the moment. Please stop giving me nightmares about them. All it's doing is just make me go through them and go, oh my lord. Okay. It's really not good for me. Then will be commissioned in 1 month. Or 2 months. Oh, we're getting them building soon. We'll get the renowns all upgraded. I wonder if I can build some more submarines. Coastal mine. Oh, yeah. So most of these I can build. I could build 100 of those at the same time. I shouldn't, because that basically overloads my construction for about... Well, honestly, does it? Finances... Yeah, that doesn't overload my construction for the next few months. Shipbuilding capacity, 17,400 tons. Out of 343,000. Yeah, I can do that with those. Yeah. Random question. Just why does Russia treat their ships so badly? I like the R class that came back with turret jammed, and the US cruiser that had to be put down to the Kirov class that we all know what state they are in. Is it money, doctrine, corruption, infighting the army? There's more infrastructure. The fact that they have to split a fleet between many different parts of the world, so getting to the main supports is problematic. Lack of on-board report. All of the above. All of the above. Basically, it's infrastructure is the big problem. And you might have infrastructure on paper, but on paper, where is that infrastructure? And sometimes the things that should be co-located are in completely different places. And that's a real problem. And then it is. You know, the real problem for the Russians has always been, where is their infrastructure and do they have the money to invest in growing it? And often they don't have the money to invest in growing it. Oh no, it's not whining. It's not. Renan, it's. How do I put this polite? How do I put this, without coming across as an Argent call? Now, I already have these nightmares. You just give me even more information to go off with, because of what I've done with teaching engineering, etc., and engineering students. And it's even more fun taking my sister around some of the properties, because what happens is the first viewing is usually me on my own. Then my sister comes along for the second viewing, and it's quite interesting, the amount of properties which get to the second viewing. And the issues which my sister will then pick up, and issues which I pick up in the first viewings. It's like I said, that there was the house which I was bent over, going through window, going through various rooms, and just going, nope, this won't work. It wouldn't. It just wouldn't work. And I don't mean that in a nasty way. It's not a bad house. It's just the nicest way. It's not definitely not enough rooms for us. Proceed. I know it's going to take me longer than 7 months to refit them all, but it's going to be sensible to get them done. It's going to take 12 months, but that's including that's before the lovely submarines are finished. Once the submarines are finished, that's going to drop down. And I now have 39 battleships in service, which is useful for me. I do need more light cruisers. I know I'm short on light cruisers. And I know my monthly balance is currently a negative 5.8 million. Which is not good. But it could be worse. I could be about to do this. As the Germans. John Moon, starting looking by myself, though my limited budget, the house are very small ruin. I will be going with small as just me, and it's still major. Well, that's the thing, is it's a combination between the three of us. And that makes life a little bit easier, but it also makes things more complicated in terms of what you need. How was that the way I have to turn on avoiding torpedoes? It's not automatic. And you'd think it seriously would be automatic. It would seem sensible for it to be automatic. Yeah, we need to fuel up quite a few ships. Found a very nice small house, but it's under offer and the bank is taking its sweet time. Biggest trade-off with that house is its literal far end of the country. That is, again, an interesting scenario, because for us, the literal far end of the country for us is actually an attractive point. Because we are, our family is down in Cornwall, and we can, especially at the moment where my only roles either are online or require me my attendance maximum once a month. In my case, my sister's, it's usually 3 to 4 times a year she has to go visit where she works for. It's a case of we can afford to be at the end of the country. We can afford to do this. Oh, that's end battle. Let's get them done and then let's get the Arshin cores upgraded. Also, I think my friend Sam, the person who directs sort of my Christmas the Christmas videos and usually does those sort of that recording for me and it basically assists me with those. I think she might have been spending too much time with me because she's now set up an Instagram account for her bunny rabbit. She has set up literally an Instagram account. I am now following it on Instagram and it is following me. Because I know someone will ask. I know someone will ask. It is called King Elvis Rabbit, all one word. There you go. Bunny rabbits hopping around. We can all be slightly worried. All be slightly worried. But, you know, she's been spending too much time with me. She's been seeing the attention the dogs are getting, and she's going, ah, my bunny deserves that attention as well. Why are there 2 French ships blocking up Heligoland port? Are they damaged and they're hiding there? Okay. You all come up here. We're going to blockade Wilhelmshaven. We'll let the rest of you get out of this before we get in. I'll get on with it. I'm at war with them, yes. All finances. Let's build this up. Make them up to 120,000. Just keep maxing out the yard construction. Mark 1 14-inch guns. Oh. If it wasn't for the advantages it gives me in terms of development of other guns, I probably wouldn't be bothering to research the 14-inch. Honestly, I would love the ability to skip. Because I would skip. Egypt is my ally. Let's go to the Agincourt. And view. And upgrade it. And you're probably going, why are you upgrading this already? Again, because they're useful. Cannot build this hull. I know you cannot build this hull. Let's go with oil fuel. Let's get them up to 28 knots. We'll sort out all the problems once we've got everything up to the level at which we prefer it to be. So engine efficiency is 91%. See what funnel we got. We had the advanced funnel. Well, we got 1,000 extra tons to play with. Many bulkheads. Got that to 16 inches of armor. Got that to 8. And let's make sure the guns are all at the maximum length. So foreweight is off by 0.3%. That's now balanced. And that is a pretty decent refit for them. Top speed 28 knots, that should help them keep up and be useful. And continue to be useful. Got the 3-inch 33s, 6-inch 49s. Yeah. The playing around the 14-inch is just annoying. Right on, let's go see and let's view. Let's see if we can upgrade the irresistible class as well. It's always good to keep all your ships upgraded. Mainly because it winds it up quite so much. think that turret ceased to exist, so that's what the problem was with it. If I can up this to 28 knots. I can get them to 28 knots. Oh. This just gives me so much fun to play with. Nope, that won't work. They're 11-inch 44s. Yeah, that'll do. It's always nice to have something slightly better, but let's see if we can't do something interesting for the main guns. Now, nope. That seems to work. 12-inch standardization. Aft weight offset. 4 belt. Upgrade to 4 belt. And upgrade the main belt of armor. And that becomes a very interesting vessel. And again, it's a 28 knot ship. Awesome. That's why the island developed a 14 inch and sent the magician known only as the Vickers for arms to sell them to everyone else and convince them that they had a future. And I'm laughing only for him to be cooped up in the interwar years and end up in the KGV design room. It's 14 inch. Lovely 14 inch. Look, the the point you need to think about is that at several points during the dogboat's construction, design, and utility, there was an honest question made exactly whether or not they'd managed to acquire 8-inch guns. Because of some of the one-shot, one-kills that they seemed to land on some of the German ships. I found it wasn't 8-inch guns, but they were trying to basically... how do I put this? Hull mount certain weapons, should I say. Let's go to our cruisers and refit them and upgrade them as well, because, you know, we should basically refit and upgrade everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. So, this is our cruiser. Ship is now overweight. That's annoying. Let's see what we can do about that. Funnels. That'd be why. We can take that down to 24 knots. Although now they won't even be able to keep up with the unrefitted ships. .4% in roll. The thing is, I doubt that. There we go. There's the weight taken care of and all dealt with. We've got 5-inch 44s. If we can we can't replace the 5-inch with 6-inch, so let's add in some more 5-inch. They'll destroy us and other things causing us trouble. Have pitch, keep standard, and surf moderate, and yeah. That doesn't affect it. That's a good upgrade for those. If it's only doing 24 knots, yeah, it still needs to be induced. That gives me 500 tons to play with. What can I do with those 500 tons? Oh, that seems okay. That seems okay. Yep, we'll save that design. why do I get the feeling that the dogboat crew who managed to strategically transfer equipment to an alternate location, mount and operate a longitudinal 12-inch, 14-inch, 15-inch, or 16-inch main gun onto their boat would be the absolute hero and legend of the dogboat fleet? Because they would be. They'd also have a dogboat which managed to go in reverse after it fired its gun. Alright. Someone's going off to dinner, and I'm thinking also I might want to get some food before the live later. But we've got a few more ships to fix first. Oh, good lord, the 14-inch gun. Give me a 16.5-inch any day of the week. I'm far happier with a 16.5-inch. In fact, my dream would be to go back in time and change the Queen Elizabeth class around so that they are carrying 4 triple 16.5-inch guns and just watch everyone in the world cry. Let's sort out the Essexes because they are our latest and greatest design, I think. Fairly sure they're the latest and greatest. I haven't got battlecruiser yet. I've got very fast. I've got 28 knot battleships, but I haven't got battlecruiser yet. That's weird. I want oil fuel, geared turbines, ship is overweight. Let's see what we can do about everything. Right then. So I'm 1,000 tons overweight. Let's put us down to 24 knots. Let's go to secondary guns. Let's see what we can do about the 3-inch gun situation. Ooh, that's far nicer. That's not good. Put in some twin triples. All gun spaces are full. Okay, with the 4 weight offset, etc., let's sort out the armoring. That'll do for that one. And that'll do for that. Decent upgrade. No, I was thinking that you mount the LSR so that when it looks like you're turning, and running, you can take out the Germans. Yes, but if you think about it, it's far more difficult to aim a gun by pointing away from a target than it is to aim it by pointing towards it. And quite honestly, you are right; it will act like a booster to get you away. There are enough issues with trying to get away without adding that one into it. Ah, well, there's another person who I'll add to the mental list of if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it at all. Sorry, that's my mental list of when some comments come in on various channels and you get them from people and you sit there and go, well, if you don't like it, don't watch it. Just unsubscribe, don't see them. That's the thing I don't understand. I will never understand the people who willingly, when you've given all the selection, all the option you are on Twitch and on YouTube, all the different potential things you can go and view, why you would watch something that you never like, I do not understand. It's a sort of very specific type of personality, I swear, to do it. How are we doing? Fleet's doing okay. They're going to be refitted soon. Submarines will be in service soon. They're 4 months long. 4 months till they're finished, and the submarines. Yep, that'll do. Monthly balance negative 31 million. And I have 20 billion. I am not bothered by that. Let's fight a war. How was the errand, Duke of Buckingham? Who am I fighting? I'm fighting the Germans, aren't I? I'm fighting the Germans. Next turn, let's move those ships around. The Germans picked to fight me and they're already fighting the French. That was not really sensible, was it? The southern Germany is now French. Well, basically, garden hoarding, that is the point, as I said. It's a case of mentally it goes into my head of, file of, this person has nothing nice to say. Or rather, they're not really worth it. They're literally just commenting on a video to just go, I don't like this about you personally. Fine. Go find someone else. Enjoy. There are like thousands, millions of channels on YouTube and Twitch. Go find them. It's more a case of wonder that they have the free time to go hunting stuff which they don't like than anything else. I don't think there's going to be a Germany much longer. I really don't. In fact, I could add in the coup de grace myself. Because if I have a naval invasion going on as well of Western Germany, then frankly there isn't much they can do. You found Twitch's character limit finally? Alright. Right, 3 votes jump us in the middle of the channel. Great Scott, I say as I man the 40mm pom-pom and blow the first button full of holes. It sinks on the spot. Running forward, I aim the unrotated projectile launcher at the second. It misses complete and kills the school of fish. I turn to the main cabin and line up the 14-inch gun. Muzzle blast flips and shatters the second boat, and the shell blows the bow off the third. And still receives a ram. Follow up. Yeah, that would be an interesting encounter discussion. I'm not giving them that much. I don't fancy losing naval prayer siege. I don't fancy gaining the utmost though. So I'll do that. That's the best middle road displacement for me. That should be okay for that one. That's okay, that's okay. None of those are coming in, so let's go for hull strengthening, hull construction, and boilers. So I can continue getting fast battleships. Let's see if there's any ships available for me to refit. Oh, I can refit some into the Super Essex. And 2 months until they're done. Twitch has a character in rookie numbers. Followed up by a swiftboarding action which takes vessel, just as Sea Lords intended. Yes, the Sea Lords often found their dogboat crews doing weird and wonderful things. I think there was at one point they found that the dogboats were trying an idea of stringing a net between them to see if they could use that on enemy Schnell boats. I don't think that was ever used operationally, but it was looked into. The dogboat crews are a constant... Basically, here's the thing. Imagine the inventiveness of the Home Guard, who basically spend most of World War II inventing very nasty and extremely painful ways of dispatching anyone who lands in their particular home or borough. And add that to a very youthful approach to warfare, and the fact that dogboat crews were full of young, aggressive go-getters. And you can imagine some of the ideas they came up with. That's the real problem with writing about the dogboats, is because you often can't prove conclusively some of the ideas they came up with. The reason you can't prove them conclusively is because, and this is going to sound very sketchy, but it's the truth, the reason you can't prove them conclusively is because the dogboat crews themselves didn't necessarily maintain the best records. They really didn't. In fact, the dogboat crews were kind of famous for not maintaining records. Senator Canary, were the tactics of the Home Guard catalogued sent straight to Geneva for the visual actions of the Geneva Convention? You have to remember that war crimes is a relatively recent phenomenon in terms of actually having it enunciated and actually existing. Usually, honestly, the organization you have to worry most about committing war crimes in the Allied forces is the nation most people would least expect. I'll see if anyone knows which one it is. Just, you know, put it in the chat. Who you think the nation of the Allies in World War II was the one which has caused the most interesting rewrites in terms of when they were putting together the war crime? Duke Betching has gone straight in with Canada. I'm going to let others comment before I answer. Canada. Seems to be quite a knowledgeable group going on here, but we'll see if anyone else has any other suggestions. Canada. Yeah, it is true. New Zealand came close, but it was actually Canada. It does tend to be the smaller, more polite countries which seem to be in world wars the ones you most have to watch out for. There is something about when they get licensed to actually let loose of their particular controls. And well, that's what happens. But yes, Canada. Canada. Oh, Canada. At certain points, I swear, there were various lawyers following them around just going, what have you done? Okay, I'm going to note this down, and we're going to add this to the treaty when it's done. Seneca, I think if you've watched, there was a, who was it? One of the YouTubers who occasionally I follow because they're kind of interesting. They're interesting and they do random stuff. They're an army officer. What's his name? Habitual line crosser. I think has made that joke a couple of times. Aren't China at war with pretty much everyone? Ah. Well. Who's China not at war with right now? Well, they're now at war with me. I do know that. Where shall I go and harass? Where is their most vital economic position? Oh yeah, I did take the Russian Far East. Forgot about that. Let's see, Shanghai, that's pretty big base in terms of port facilities. Weihai Wei, small. Haichao, 112,000 turned in. Port Arthur. Shanghai it is. And Hangzhou. We'll send another fleet up there shortly. And also, Fat Electrician with It's Never a War Crime the First Time and Geneva Suggestions. Yes. That is a small problem. Let's see. Naval invasion of China. Where do I want to invade? I want Eastern China, ideally. Eastern China. Well, I will definitely have enough troops in your ships in your area to invade you. Challenging but possible for the naval invasion of Western China. It is challenging, but impossible. But possible. I would agree. And honestly, I'm likely to achieve it. No. No. The problem for them is I am not far away from completing all my refits. And I'm fairly sure I have got all my submarines in the service. To the extent that there are now submarines in large parts of the world. A lot of mine-laying submarines. Yeah, I've got more ships coming in than that. We'll let them sort all that. Bug time. Definitely bug time. We've got... Take those off. And... What should we do? Definitely maneuver warfare. Mines! Upgrade, yes. And... Destroy design. Oh, yes. I just had an incredibly serious thought. Replace all of the Allied command staff, light cruisers and smaller, with dog boats and DD mentality personnel. Oh, good lord. No, no, don't do that. That's... You need that skill set at various levels, okay? There is a thing in that you find in naval warfare and naval history that that certain ships get attracted, and certain ships attract certain personalities, certain types of ships, and that will naturally gravitate and end up there, and that is a good thing. And when you try and force square pegs in round holes, that's when you have problems. I just want to win a dog or dogboat, no T destroyer or dogboat captain did that. It's fuel, and it's getting it through the layered defences, and you would need a major effort to do so. Guardsman 14, that is even more scary. Odds are they couldn't. Odds are they couldn't. It's taking off with the dogboat on defense problem. This was really not sensible of China to pick a fight me, was it? Ooh, Minehunter kit. Cool. I think I need a load of destroyers to do that. Oh, good lord. Where am I going to get the task force from? Oh, there's the task force. Go. Do the job I have you for. Battleships will be fully refitted in 2 months. That's going to be worrying for them. Navalized Lancaster. Oh, good lord. Well, that's... I think we've got enough time. Where am I invading, actually? Central China, Northern China, and Eastern China. Oh, it wasn't Western China, it was Eastern China. Ah, well, frigate. Honestly, I'm having one of those weeks. The Renowns turning up should be an interesting experience for everyone. Should be. They're a fairly good, decent design. Could imagine what the Lancaster would have been if it had been designed by Sir Barnes Wallis and with the Rolls-Royce Griffins. Can imagine that, but do you need that? That's the whole point about the heavy bombers. They didn't need to have the latest and greatest engines because they were large enough to carry multiple engines, which meant they were a very efficient methodology of taking a large, industrially very efficient methodology of taking a large amount of explosives to go and hit a target far from the sea. Because the moment you had to compete them with a battleship, they lost out because the battleship could deliver far more. And would deliver far more explosives. I need to send 16,000 tons to do that conquest. No, that's not 16,000 tons available. It would need to be... Well, they're all quite busy doing things. And they're refitting. And they're going to be ready next month. Let's go keep track on research. What can I invest in to speed up my key research areas that I'm investing in quite a lot? I really like radar, but I haven't got that yet. Magnolize a strategic bomber survive built-in payload. Honestly, if you want to maximize strategic bomber and payload, you need to work on far more powerful bombs far earlier, and you need to be able to take them up to a higher altitude. It's not so much the engines you need to worry about in terms of the Griffins, although having engines which perform better at high altitudes does help. It's actually designing the aircraft to operate at high altitudes. That was the big trick for the B-20, for the B-29, etc., was its high altitude performance. That it was so far above where the fighters were operating. And it always amazed me that the various forces didn't push that far more. There are a lot of high altitude aircraft being developed, and they didn't push it. I'm fairly sure that's enough ships to make that mine. Along with all those. And all of those. That should work. And there you go. Now, where's the fleets from around here going? They were doing this conquering down here. Now I'm going to want to send them to do conquering of a different thing. Agincourt. Okay, Montague, Agincourt, Repulse, London, Renown. Okay, she's in London. Before we send them to take on the annoying people, let's see if we can upgrade any ships to this level. Proceed to upgrade them. Right, I'm going to go get some food in a second. Don't worry. Right. Basically, I want all the ships in Scarpa Flow to be upgrading. Obviously, I haven't got a repulse upgrade going, so I need to do that now. That should make them all as strong as I can make them. Move to Scarpa Flow. You free. Port capacity. That will soon be. Yep, that will soon be roughly maximum, which will be fine. And that should be enough to take me Kronstadt. And if I can take... If I can start working Finland and taking the rest of these, then I have a very good advantage going on. So I have to worry about Mozambique. You can all see the green fleet there, right? Oh, good. Right then. Okay, that should all work out. That should all work out, because that's about 90,000 tons, and each group's going that way. Let's go. I've got 29 battleships and 3 cruisers under refit. Let's get them all done, and then we send them to Kronstadt. And then the Soviet Union gets really, really worried. Really, really worried. And then and once I've sent them to Kronstadt, then I will quite happily go and get some food and start prepping for tonight's live. Battleship Hannibal, with its massive escort of destroyers, will also go down there. That's Central Russia, yes. So politics. Naval invasion of the Soviet Union, not yet allowed. Okay. Wait till it's allowed. That's going to be fun. They're on their way. Let's go to the ship design, because we need to do one more thing also before I go. I need a light cruiser, don't I? I need a new design. I need a decent light cruiser. And then I can go and get some food. Hello, that looks cute. What's that? That looks like a new dreadnought. I don't need a new dreadnought at the moment. Be tempting, but I don't need a new dreadnought at the moment. New design. I don't want. I wish it would, instead of giving you a ship to begin with, it would let you just pick and go, yes, you can build this. That's more like it. Forced boilers. Yay. Six-inch guns. I don't want underwater torpedo tubes. I'm going to have to take underwater torpedo tubes, but I prefer not to have them. Let's put 19-inch torpedoes. Enhanced. All the best. Okay, let's see what can we get over about this vessel. Put the belt up in terms of weight to the maximum I'm allowed to. The main deck to the maximum I'm allowed to. What kind of balance are we looking at? Inner deck up to the maximum I'm allowed to. That should be affecting the pitch and the roll. That should have an impact. That ship starts unstable and continues to be unstable the entire way through that ship's life. Forward offset, 2.4%. Okay. Have I not got enough weight aft? I don't know. What are we going to do here? What are we going to do here? Because this should be a fairly decent cruiser design. It's bristling with weapons. Okay, more than it probably needs. I do accept it's got more weapons than it probably needs. Certainly has more armor than it actually needs. Right then. That's kind of about as good as I can make it, isn't it? I think I'll build some of those because I still need light cruisers. I can't afford to keep putting them off. But that's not. That shouldn't be like that. Its pitch and roll are not right. You know. So I'm going to order some of those. Let's see. They come in at roughly 9,000 tons. Let's say. What's my current building capacity? What have I got spare? And then I will go. I will make the order, and I will go. I'm currently using finances. 260,000 tons of 370,000 tons. So I have roughly 120,000 tons. Let's go for 90,000 tons. Because that makes life easier. Let's just order 10. Bristol's, let's build 10. And when those ships are finished refitting, I should be able to order a whole lot more. A Ford Model T. The Chieftain fitting into a Ford Model T, that'll be interesting. And I had better go get some food. Do you want some food? To give you an example, I look quite sort of bright at the moment, but Poodle Cam. Started with, so we'll finish with it. You enjoy being Poodle Cam, don't you? Yes, you do. Anyway, we better go. Because we better go get some food. You need to be fed. I need to be fed. Thank you very much everyone for watching. Thank you, Duke of Petrogen. Thank you, Girlsman14. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Senecanero. Thank you, Runon. Thank you, everyone who's been watching and everyone who's been helping. Let's save this and go. Thank you very much, John. Take care, and see you later on the YouTube live. Oh.